Hi everyone, Neil here with a little Minecraft modding tutorial. There are a lot of tutorials out there, and specifically what I'm aiming to accomplish with this one is to teach you how to make durable items, right? I cruised a lot of the forums, checking out YouTubes, stuff like that, and I couldn't ever really find anything that showed me from beginning to end how to make a durable item. So an example of a durable item would be like in Red Power 2, you had like the draw plates, the diamond draw plates or the hand saws. Um, IC2 is an example. They now have like the hammers and the cutters and so forth. Those are durable items, right? You put them in a crafting table, you use them, they have so many uses and then they go away. So I'm going to show you guys and gals how to make durable items from beginning to end here. So I'm going to make a few assumptions, however. One is that you already know how to set up your main modding class. There are tons of tutorials out there. Go check them out. Scratch for Fun, Cinesonic, the forums, any of those. I also assume that you know how to create your own items and blocks along with textures for each of those. I also expect that you know how to easily create recipes using both vanilla items and the ones that you have created. And it's not required, but number 4, knowledge of Java. Really, that's going to help a lot, so that way you understand really what it is that you're doing as you're going through, because really what you're doing is you're programming, right? Get yourself an O'Reilly's, get yourself a Sam's, any one of those, and spend some time learning the Java programming language. Programming is a lot of fun. It helps when you have a project, so, you know, Minecraft modding is a good example to do that. So, soapbox aside, let's get started. So really what I have here, you'll see that I have my imported items. I've gone ahead and I have my class set up, I have my mod ID set up, and I also have a couple of methods down here. And I'll explain these when we get into them, but really what these are just a couple of time-saving things for when we go through and start getting started on some of our items. So the first thing to get started is let's make an item. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make an iron hammer. So we will declare that public static item iron hammer. Now I'm using kind of my own naming conventions on this, so you don't have to make it exactly like mine. I do in fact like to put item there in front. It's no big deal. So what are we going to do? We're going to use an iron hammer that we make. So we have a recipe that we're going to use to make this iron hammer. And then we will use the iron hammer to make iron rods, right? So we will take those. Let's get our rods going. Item iron rod. Booyah. Like that. So we've gone ahead and declared those. Let's go ahead and actually initialize these bad boys. So item iron hammer equals new, and I'm actually going to give this its own class because there's some additional things that I want to do to tinker around with that. And again, as I said, I have a kind of an assumption that you already know a lot of what I'm doing here already, so I am not going to spend time kind of explaining what that is. Tons of toots out there, go check them out. Toot, toot, toot. So here you're going to see the method that I have down at the bottom, and this is actually a little tip that I learned from watching tutorials of Scratch for Funs, right? So it really just kind of makes the whole process go a little bit faster. So item, iron, hammer, and we are going to make that, let's just name it iron hammer, pretty easy. Boom, like that. So really what we're doing is we're calling this method, right, which is right here, and we're going to specify the item, which is our item iron hammer, and we're going to put in a string, which is the iron hammer, and really it just runs through these two processes with the variables that I've signed, and gets them added to the game registry and the language registry, so it's super quick. Let's go ahead and get our iron rod in there, and for this I'm actually just going to use kind of a generic class, if you will, and I'm going to go through and get those built as we go along here, so bear with me. Set on localized name, and that will be iron rod. Oh, that would help. There we go. register item, item iron rod. And we're going to just name this iron rod. Now I have textures built for these. I know I'm not going to upload them. You can go through and build your own crazy textures for it. Again, the assumptions that I made, you should already know how to do that. But put your own spin on them. So let's make these classes. Let's make the generic one first. Did I already do that? Looks like I already did. Well, let's take a look at it. Set mobilize name. So here we go. We're passing along an ID with our constructor, and then I'm just setting up this right here for the textures. If you want to like copy this code, you can. Magic YouTube, just hit pause. You get to it. Now the other class that we want is the item iron hammer. And this one I'm going to go through and actually delete this one. And the reason why, let's get rid of the crafting handler as well, because I want to build that for you. I want to show you how we're going to do this here. So let's get rid of the diamond one as well, because we'll create that. Cool. So let's go through and create our class for the item iron hammer. And I'm actually going to put this into a sub package called item. Boom, just like so. Awesome. And this is actually going to extends, if I can spell it right, extends item. And we will go ahead and import that. And then it's going to want our constructor. So let's add that. Get rid of that crap. I prefer to pass along the ID of the device, the item. So here you see that I'm grabbing the ID right here for item iron hammer, which is actually 6,000, so I'm passing that along there. Let's get this rolling, shall we? So first thing that we want to do is we want to modify or set how many, what the stack size is going to be. This is essentially how many of these can you put in a stack. And we actually just want this to be one, right? This is something that, think of it as like a tool, right? It's like a pickaxe or a sword. They're going to have individual durability, so you don't want to just drop them, just have a big stack of them, right? So we're going to set the max stack size to 1, and then we're going to set the set max damage. We're going to set this to 8. And really what we're specifying here is how many uses it has. So this iron hammer is going to have 8. You can put in a bunch more if you want. That's totally up to you. I'm going to set public void. I'm going to do that. You know, the texture thing. I can register. Oh, what are we doing here? This item icon equals I can register dot register icon, and this is going to be not that durable items iron hammer. Cool. You should, again, as I said, you should already know how to do this if you're here. If not, go check out another vid. Come back and see me a little bit later. So this is our, really our properties of the item that we're making. Max stack size of 1. Our damage is going to be 8. Pretty sweet. Alright, so we need recipes now. We got to be able to build these particular items. So let's go ahead and get started on those. Game registry. Add recipe, and we want new item stack. And we're going to be building the item iron hammer. Beautiful. And we're going to actually get one of those when we make it. I did that wrong. There we go. Item iron hammer. boy, right there. All right, so how are we going to do this? Let's say in our top row, right, 1, 2, 3, we're going to have an empty spot. We're going to have an iron ingot and an iron ingot. Cool. And then in our next row, right, the middle one, 4, 5, 6, we're going to have a blank space, a stick, and an iron ingot. And then in the bottom row, we're going to have a stick, blank, blank. Sweet. So I, what does I equal? Well, I is pretty simple. That's going to equal item dot ingot iron. It doesn't like it. What am I doing wrong? Do I have all my commas in the right space? Well, let's just keep going. Let's see what happens, shall we? Shall we? Oh, you know what? Probably because I haven't imported item stack. We'll get there. We'll get there. So, item dot stick, like so, and close that up. So, misplaced constructs. Let me take a look at my notes here. Maybe that would help. Right there, import item stack. Sweet. And these guys, yeah, I'm using dots instead of those. There we go. So this is how we're going to make our item iron hammer. So space iron iron, second row, space stick iron, and then a stick at the bottom. And when we get in, I mean, it'll make a little bit more sense when you see those. And they're actually built. So let's now do our registry. Well, you know what? Let's actually just jump in game here real fast and build one of these. Then that way we can see what it looks like. Loading on up. Alright. Let me embiggen this. There we go. Let's get rid of that. Create a new world. Durable. Creative. Some cheat. Please no snow. Please no snow. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Come out here to a nice flat spot. Here we go. Alright, so first thing that we're going to need is, of course, a crafting table. And we are going to need some ingots. We're going to need some sticks. Sweet. So let's put that down, and remember, this is how we had this set up. Item iron hammer. Sweet. Well, I have no texture for it, so not as sweet, but you can kind of see how we set this up in terms of what the recipe is going to look like, right? Cool. I had a texture for this. Let's find out where it's at. Box items. Whoa. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here. Iron hammer. Well, why isn't it taking that? Durable items. That might help. Let's jump back in and check just to be sure. No, I'm kind of going in circles. Bear with me here. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Durable. Nope. That's okay. You guys can pretend. Pretend like you can see it. So, we have a recipe for that. Now, let's make the recipe for our iron rod. Now, as you know, we are going to be what was I saying? Yeah, ADD. We're going to be using our hammer to make these, right? We're going to put the hammer in a crafting table with some ingots. It's going to transform those ingots into, good lord, and it's going to transform those ingots into our iron rods. What I actually want to do is I want to get 2 of them. 2 iron rods for each one. So, recipe, this is going to be some shapeless ingot, hammer, and that's pretty much it. So let's get our ingot in there, and that is going to be item.ingot iron and H. H is going to be item iron hammer. And I actually need to fix this. These are supposed to be ticks, like so. New item stack, cool. Everything's checking out. So, what else do we need? We need a crafting handler. We need a crafting handler. So let's do that. Let's make a crafting handler. We are going to create a new class, and I'm going to put this in my crafting subfolder, and we're just going to call this crafting handler, like so. And this is going to implement crafting handler. Spell it right, crafting. Good work. You'd understand what I meant. Clips would, which wouldn't help. Alright, so what we're going to need to do here is really, this is how we're going to assess damage every time we use it. Right, so if you know Java, great, you're going to understand a little bit of what's going on here. If you don't, like I said, pick up a SAMS. I'm not going to explain all of this to you. I'll explain a little bit so that way you can understand the fundamentals of it, but we're going to be going through some functions, statements, and stuff like that. And it's really important that, I mean, if you do want to be a modder dude or a modder dudette, that you learn that. Again, soapbox away. Let's do it. For int I equals 0, I greater than craft matrix dot get size inventory, and then I++. Sweet. And really what we're doing is we're checking all of the slots. And so let's say if craft matrix dot get stack and slot I does not equal null, balls does not equal null, so if there's an item, damn it, if there's an item, we want to say item stack, and we're going to have this be our first item, so item 1 equals craft matrix dot, I'm not a great typer, get stack and slot. Get stack and slot, which is I, of course. Then we will say if item 1 dot get item. My hand itches. Does not equal null. And item 1 dot get item equals our durable items dot our hammer, like so. Item stack j equals new item stack durable items item iron hammer. Sorry about this. Takes a little bit to get this bad boy mapped out here. Get item damage. We're going to increment that +1. If j dot get item damage is greater than or equal to the max damage, so get max damage got stuff going on up here. Let me tune that up real fast. Good grief. So if the item damage is greater than or equal to our max damage, we are going to get rid of our hammer. So really what we're saying is once we get in and we start using it, if we've gotten to the point where we've used up all the durability on it, we're going to delete it, like so. And then we need to say craft matrix dot set inventory slot contents IJ. I think that does it. Get items, get item, get item. And this is just item 1. Case is important. Cool, so that is our crafting handler. Really what this is going to do is it's going to increment the damage, and then if we run into a case where the item has exceeded its damage, boom. Boom! We need to import this bad boy. We need to put our crafting handler in here. And that looks a little bit like this. Game registry.add recipe. What am I doing? Good Lord. Register crafting handler. Doing that again. New crafting handler. Like so. And we will import that. Because we already got it. We built it. Yay! Alright, so let's jump in and check this out. There's actually something that I want to do first. Let me find him here. I want to make sure that these are in here like they should be, so that way they show up. Iron hammer, iron rod. They're named the same. Iron hammer. I don't know what's going on here, man. Alright, that's okay. Let's jump in and check it out. See where we're at. Now, this is where I ran into trouble when I first started doing this. You know, I got the durable items, they worked and everything, but they'd only work once. And that just won't do. That won't do. So, let's take our hammer, we'll put it up here with an ingot, and boom, there are our iron rods. And you'll see that the durability on this went down by 1. Sweet. But the problem that I would run into is the recipe is set up to only do it once, right? I don't have anything to click here. So, took a little bit of doing. I got it figured out. We need to modify our recipe a little bit, right? So, it's actually pretty straightforward. We have H, we have our item iron hammer. Really what we need to do here is specify new item stack. Move it on over. Item iron hammer, comma 1, comma, or dictionary dot wildcard value, like so. Close that up, and we're done. So you see this? We're creating a new item stack with the item iron hammer 1, then the OR dictionary. So now let's try it. Jump into Minecraft, and we already have one in here, so let's check it out. Let's try to use that. We know that it didn't work last time. Let's see if it works now. Look at that. And now you'll see that the durability just went down to 6. So, here we'll see the stack size, right? So our get item damage was greater than or equal to our get max damage, so it destroyed itself. That's funny. The iron rod shows up, but the hammer doesn't. And I had such a cool little thing for that. So, there you have it. Durable items. Boom. Pretty awesome. I had a diamond. When I first did this, I ran into a bunch of problems with recording. It would mess up the audio, all fucked up. When I first did this, I had a diamond. I went ahead and I created a diamond hammer. Really, you want to create a diamond hammer. You just create a texture for it. You set the names and all that, and then you set your max damage up to something ungodly if you want to. And really remember that this is just going to be your durability, how many uses it's going to have. Right, so we'll just actually change our iron hammer to 64. That seems a little bit more reasonable than 8. We'll run Minecraft, and we'll see that change when we make one. I did the F3 and H to give myself to show the durabilities of these, right? So there, 63 is 64, boom. Went through that entire stack, and we still got stuff. What am I going to use these iron rods for? I have no idea. Maybe I want to make an iron handle, you know, and then we'll put some ingots in there later or something like that. So that really takes care of your durable items. That's how you make a durable item. Really, the sky's the limit. You just use this as a template. Remember, just change your textures, change your names, change the different durabilities for the different classes or tiers of items that you're going to have. I'm going to throw this up on Minecraft forums as well, so if you have any questions, you can comment below. You can also comment on the Minecraft forums. Minecraft forums, something like that, yeah. I'll have a link to it down below. You can go there, you can comment, anything like that. Let me know. I'll try to help you out the best I can. Thanks, everybody. This is Neil. You have a great day.